The cloud, we got it. I'm going to go ahead and get started. It's 10 o'clock. Shall I do that? My name is Katie Wright. I am the president of HLAA California. We're so glad to have all of you here today. We're going to be having a presentation on the California Phones program, and I'm really excited to be doing this for everybody in California. I've got to tell you, though, I was checking all the registrants, and we have somebody here from Illinois. I don't remember the name, but I don't know if that person's here yet. But we have an Illinois person here. Woo! I also noticed that we have a lot of people, a good number of people that are here from the Central Coast area. And I'm so glad to see that. We are so glad to be able to connect with you guys. We're going to start off with being sure that you have directions on how to get the most out of Zoom this morning. So I'm going to turn this over to Tony Barriant. Tony is the Southern California chapter coordinator for HLAA California. She's going to be giving you the directions. Please forgive the momentary times that we have to go back between switching control of who's doing what on the screen. There may be a few glitches along the way, but we'll try to make it look like we meant to make mistakes. Okay, Tony, it's all yours. Unmute yourself.
Katie, her microphone is off.
What happened? Glitch number 1. There we go.
When I don't see myself or anybody when I'm running the PowerPoint, so.
And let me just tell you before Tony gets started, she woke up to no power this morning at her house. Absolutely no power. So after an initial panic between all of us, she had to go to a neighbor's house to log on to this meeting. So we all needed to do some deep breathing and some calming exercises before we got started this morning. Go ahead, Tony.
Okay, so I just want to, first of all, make the announcement that this meeting is being recorded. It will be posted on the HLAA California YouTube. And so this will be beneficial for if you'd like to see the program again. And this will also be something that you can have your neighbors, your family, anybody you know with hearing loss in California who didn't see this, they would be able to watch it. And what I'm going to do after this program is the recording needs to be uploaded to YouTube. That takes a little bit of time, and I'm not going to be able to do it until I can get back in my house and use my desktop computer. So it may be a day or so. I will email everybody who has registered for this program and be sure to give them a link to the recording. So now I just want to show you a few little tips on using Zoom features. So first, you see the captions, and we're using captions provided by PowerPoint. There won't be a full transcript per se. The YouTube video will be captioned. I want to talk to you about the chat window and how to raise your hand. So if you see the chat window, it's in the control bar down at the bottom of your screen. And sometimes that control bar disappears. And you just need to tap in the top of the bottom of your screen anywhere and it'll pop up. So then find the chat button and you'll see right here, it says everybody. So type your message here and everybody will see your message. And, you know, right now, if you want to practice that, open the chat box, choose everybody and say, hi, my name is, and I'm from, and then your city. That would be great. Just I'll give you a little practice and everybody can view it. If you want to send a message privately to somebody, you change the everybody, the drop-down box, and find the name of the person. Scroll to find the name of the person you want to send a message to. Click that, and then when you send the message, it'll go privately. Okay. If the chat window is annoying to you, you can click on the little arrow at the down arrow at the top of the chat box and click on pop-up and drag it anywhere you want. Please use the chat function to ask for technical support. So Alan is with us today, and if you send him a message, you can send it to everybody or you can send it to Alan privately and ask him for technical support on Zoom. He'll be more than happy to respond. Okay, I would like everybody to click on participants, and you will see the name of everybody that is participating in the program. But what I want you to notice is in the lower right-hand corner, you see the words raise hand. Raise hand. So what I'd like everybody to do is to find raise hand and click it. And then Katie, you tell me, because I can't see, I don't have my regular phone set up here. You tell me if you're seeing any raised hands.
I see 6 hands, 7. I need to see 30 hands, 8.
All right. The reason why we need to use raise hand if you have a question is because we cannot see everybody on the screen. And so if you're waving frantically, we may not see you. But if you use the raise hand function, your name will rise to the top of the participant list and we will see it. And we will call on you. We will ask you to unmute. So this is what the little blue hand looks like. It'll be right next to your name. That's it.
All right, now we're going to switch back over to me. Here we go.
There we go.
I am going to everybody keep your fingers crossed. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to give remote control over to Robert. And then I don't touch that. Wait, I got to do one more thing. I got to bring my gallery back over so I can see it. Robert, unmute yourself. I'd like to introduce to you Robert Lenez. He is the operations specialist for the California Phones program. He's going to be doing this presentation for you today. So, are we ready to go? Everybody can see the screen. Everybody can see captions. And we did it. No glitches. Whew. All right, Robert, it's all yours.
Morning, everyone. My name is Robert. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Tony, for allowing me to be here this morning. I'm very excited to present this amazing state program to every single one of you. I want to start by telling you how I was connected with California Phones. My father, who was 90 years old, suffered a pretty bad fall, and he broke his collarbone. While we're going through physical therapy with him, the doctor said, "We believe his balance is not the same, and I do not trust him in a cane or a walker, so a wheelchair is going to be mandatory and necessary." The problem with that was that my dad suffers from hearing loss, but never did anything about it. My dad also is a very social person, so he loves to talk to a lot of friends all through the country. His favorite phone was this amazing avocado green with a cord as long as, I don't know, it was about 20 yards, it seems like. But that was his favorite phone because it was a very loud stationary phone. Now, the phone was in the kitchen. My dad's bedroom is all the way in the back, the master bedroom. So when the phone rang, it was very hard for him to make it. He would get the answer machine, and then it was not to his liking. Very, very disturbing for him. We tried buying him several cordless phones, and none of them were loud enough, and it was just very frustrating because he couldn't communicate anymore. Well, a friend of ours told us, "Have you heard of California Phones?" And of course I said, "No, I've never heard of California Phones." Give them a call because they might have a solution. In fact, there is a commercial in them that you might see talking about the program. A few weeks later, I just happened to stop by my father's house early in the morning, and lo and behold, here is this commercial talking about a free specialized phones for people that have several difficulties, and it's free. And we said, why not? So lo and behold, here we are. My father was able to get a phone that empowered him to stay connected, a phone that was amplified that he could hear, a phone that was portable so he could go all throughout the house in his wheelchair. And especially now with the times that we're living, staying connected, it is so crucial to be able to talk to the people who are important to you. So it's been a godsend for him. It definitely boosted his spirits because my dad can be probably some of the most negative person at times, but I love him for that. So he's very critical of things and he wants things his way. But guess what? This phone provided that opportunity for him. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our program. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, awesome. So what is California Telephone Access Program, also known as CTAP, and we call it California Phones just because it's just easier to remember. So what it is, it's a state mandated program of the California Public Utilities Commission, CPUC. So back in 1979, it really meant that the state had to provide telecommunications devices to people that were deaf or severely hard of hearing. A few years later, it came to the new concept also of adding relay to that. So what that means relay is for people that are TTY users or teletype users. A few years later after that, the program changed not only to include people that have hearing issues, but also that had vision issues, mobility issues, speech difficulties, and also memory disabilities. Now, we say that you're able to get free specialized phones, and it is free to get a free specialized phone, but this program is actually funded by everyone in California that has a cell phone or a landline. Every month you will see in your bill that it states California Relay Service and Communications Device Fund. In my case, I have only cell phones in my home, and I'm paying minimally. So whether you participate in this program or not, everyone in California pays just a very few cents on this program. But for you to be able to participate, it is absolutely free. Now, applying for this program is very easy. It's very simple. We have no income requirements. We have no age restrictions. We have no restrictions if you need to be on Medi-Cal, Medicare, or Social Security. So this is all about empowering you to communicate, to give you that opportunity that if you have a difficulty, that you are able to overcome it when you need to talk to someone over the phone. Now, in talking in a primary purpose, and I've talked about these difficulties, I also want to tell you that even, let's say that you have a new difficulty. Let's say that you already are hard of hearing, but how about if you have a mobility issue all of a sudden? Maybe like my mom just recently got a knee replacement. So she was able to use, of course, she used my father's phone because it is a mobile phone. I mean, I'm sorry, a cordless phone. But if you don't have a cordless phone and all of a sudden you have a temporary difficulty, you can get a cordless phone if you don't necessarily have one as well. So when we ask you to fill this out, have your doctor fill out for multiple difficulties if you have those. It's just easier to, it opens more opportunities or more categories for you to select from as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of the specialized equipment that we have. Just to let you know that we have, I think, a total of about 60 phones and accessories, all in total. And so the phones that you see here on the screen don't necessarily mean that that's the only phone that we have. I would invite you after my presentation that you visit our website and that you can see where you can apply, and then also check out all of our different equipment that we have available for you. So we have things from accessories as far as very loud ringers that ring just as loud as a fire truck, or you can get maybe a headset as well with your phone. So I'm going to go over some of the features that we have for different categories. So for example, for people that have difficulty hearing, we have phones that have amplification. So what does that mean? It means that it will raise the volume. Some phones could do it up to even 50 decibels. So that is about 3 times louder than a normal phone. Some phones provide captions. Most of our phones also provide tone control for clarity. Some of you will know that when you begin to lose some hearing, you also lose that clarity or that tonality. Our phones have an option to adjust that. So, for example, if you have difficulty hearing high-pitched voices, which is normally maybe children, grandchildren, or women, you can adjust that tone. And the other tone would be a lower tone. For example, a man's voice. Okay, I try to sound manly, sorry. But you could actually adjust that tone on most of our phones as well. Some of our phones have hearing aid compatibility, which is really nice if you have T-coil on your phones. They also have speaker phones. The advantage of that is if you need to do something, you could just activate the speaker phone and continue to hear. And of course, they have flashing lights when the phone rings.
I touched my screen, Robert. I'm sorry. You have to double click on it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Awesome. Thank you. Now we have specialized equipment also for the people that have severe hearing loss. We have, like I mentioned, we have Captions. As you can see here, this is the world famous Teletype phone that we still provide. And like I mentioned, we do provide also things like super loud ringers. And of course, some of our phones are TCO compatible as well. For the people that have difficulty seeing, as you can see, we have phones. As you can see here, this phone has very large buttons. The one thing that I like about some of our phones that we have also is the fact that they have talking keypads. What does that mean? It means when you press a button, it will tell you the number that you are just pressed. So if you have low vision, and for example, I wear bifocals, and let me tell you, sometimes even looking at my cell phone, it is quite difficult. So having something that tells you what you're pressing is very reassuring that you're dialing the right number. Now, for people that have difficulty in moving, here we have some cordless phones. And the good thing about this is that all of our cordless phones are amplified as well. They also have tone control as well. We also have some devices for people that have no mobility at all whatsoever, and they have remote operation. There's a very specific switch that we can attach to activate the phone as well. We also have devices for people that have difficulty speaking. One of them is Outgoing speech amplification. If your speech is not loud enough, the phone will actually augment your speech so the person on the other end can hear you. We also have things like anti-stuttering devices. We have, for people that have laryngectomies, we have artificial voice generators as well. And of course, we have the teletype devices. For people that have memory difficulties, we have phones like the one that you see on the screen. They have a speed dial next to the button, to the number buttons, that you can actually put a picture to that speed dial. So that, because when we begin to lose our memory, we will forget phone numbers or names, but we will recognize a person's face. So you can add a person's face. You just print out or take a picture, cut it out, put that face on the speed dial and program that. So it's very, very convenient. We also have other devices that are voice activated dialing. What you would do is you would program their name, and once you pick up the phone, it'll give you a tone and you say, call Tony Barrett. So those will facilitate those type of difficulties as well. So I know that I talked a lot about home phones and landline phones. Maybe some of you don't have a landline phone anymore. So we do provide devices like the ones that you see on here that have amplification and they are hands-free, that they connect to your mobile device via Bluetooth. So that means that when most of the time that people that need to use their cell phone, sometimes they put it on speakerphone. Now everyone around them hears a conversation. Well, this device here, these devices here will allow you to connect to your phone and be able to have an amplified conversation. Now, the one thing I do like about the one button, the one handset or that you see on there is the fact that it does have a answer button and a hang up button. My mom, for example, she has a smartphone, but sometimes when she slides her finger, it's very hard for her and it doesn't recognize. So with this device, she's able to answer the call as long as it's paired via Bluetooth to her phone. And then when she's done, she hangs up that phone to hang up as well. So with that one button. So it's very convenient for her. What I mentioned before is our program also provides the relay service for California. So what is relay is? What it does, it facilitates phone calls from a TTY user or teletype user to a non-teletype user. What does that entail? Let's say that you need to start using a teletype device or a TTY. And maybe you need to contact, let's say your car needs maintenance, so you need to call the dealership. So what you do is you dial our communication specialist or our TTY line, which is 711 for everyone. And you tell them, you enter onto your TTY device, the number that you need to dial. And what they'll do is they will speak, whether if you need to speak on your device, on your behalf, or here on your behalf. And as you type, the communication specialist will speak for you. And then once that person communicates with the non-TTY user, let's say in this case, the car dealership, once they respond, and if you need, if you are not of great hearing, they will actually type it into your machine so you can read that conversation. So this is another service that we provide. Oops, went a little too far. Another program that we also offer is called speech to speech. And this is our revoicing service. What does this mean? It's for people whose difficulty in speech, it's so great that it's really hard for them to communicate. So once again, let's say that I do have a very bad speech impediment and I need to call the dealership to make an appointment to get my maintenance done. Sometimes a lot of people cannot make out what a person's saying and they hang up thinking that it's a prank call and they could never be productive. So using our revoicing service, the communication specialist will assist the person in communicating and conveying what it is that they need to get done. In this case, make an appointment to have my car being looked at. And so the person assists that communication. They're trained to hear certain tones and things of that nature, so that person with the speech impediment can have a successful call as well. Okay, so we talked a lot about the program. So how do we become members of this program? How do we participate? There's a few requirements. You have to live in California. You have to have telephone service. It could be landline, or it could be your cell phone, or it could be both. And of course, have a difficulty, as you can see here. So once, normally, if I was presenting to you in person, I would give you one of our certification forms. But in this case, since we are virtual, I invite you to go to our website, and there you would go to the apply section of our website, and then you can whether download it or pre-fill it out. Once you fill it out, you print it out, you make sure that you sign it and date it and get it to a certifying agent. And I will show you who those certifying agents is. So this is the first section that you would have to fill out. You fill out all your information about you, and then you sign and date it. Now, when the first section is completed, after whether you downloaded it or you printed it, and also if you don't have access to a printer, you can always call us and we could mail you one of our certification forms so you could have it filled out. So once you fill out the first section, then you send it to your doctor, where the next time you see them, or maybe if you have the ability to fax it or mail it to your doctor, all they have to do is fill out the second section. In the second section, they will verify all the different difficulties that you have. So the more difficulties you have, we encourage you to have them sign off on those things. And then once they enter their credentials and their signature, they can actually send it by mail, they can email it to us, or fax it. If you happen to have it in person, I'll show you where you can go in person as well. Matthew, I see that you have a question. I will get to your question at the end of this presentation, because it's a really great question. Okay, so who are the certifying agents who can sign out on this form? It could be a medical doctor, it could be a PA or physician assistant, it could be a nurse practitioner, an optometrist, an audiologist, a hearing aid dispenser, or a speech pathologist. We also, if you belong with the Department of Rehab, it could be one of the counselors, or it could be a counselor from the superintendent of, or audiologist from the California School of the Deaf as well. So these are our centers that we have available all throughout the state. We're a state program. You will see that we have full-time centers, and these are usually open Monday through Friday, but we also have part-time centers. So I know that we're speaking to a lot of folks here from the Central Coast. So the closest one would be in Santa Barbara. And the one in Santa Barbara, I know that it's open twice a month. And what we suggest is to make sure that you call us to make sure that that day we're actually open. And you can call our 1-800 number, which I'll show you at the end, just to verify. But our full-time centers are always open. But it's always good, if you're planning on visiting one of our centers, it's always good to call just to make sure that everything is on the up because of the current times that we are living in with this pandemic as well. So what can you do at one of our centers? One, if you're new to the program, you could come out and take a look at all of our different equipment that we have available. If you wanted to test it out, if you wanted to see if it was good for you, we have those there available for you. If you are an existing customer of ours, and maybe you have a phone that is no longer functioning correctly, you could bring it also into our service center and we can troubleshoot it. If the device is, let's say, no longer working properly, we could do an exchange as necessary and get you going once again. So that's why we have all of these centers available for you to get new equipment and also to troubleshoot any equipment that you have. Now, this is our contact information. This is our English line and our Spanish line. We also have some different languages. Now, let's say that you have a friend that maybe speaks a whole different language that is not listed. We have access to about 250 other languages. We have access to interpreters that, let's say that you have a friend that maybe speaks German. And so you don't see German listed. Well, guess what? You give us a call and we will get a hold of a German translator so we can help your friend out. In my case, how my father found out about this was really neat because it was a friend of ours that told us about this program. So I encourage not only for yourselves, but for other family members, for other friends of other congregations that you may belong to. This is a great program and it does not cost anything for you to get one of our specialized phones as well. So with that being said, I am going to transition to another program that we have as well. This is an amazing program, and this is what we call our smartphone training. So what does this mean? We have a program for people that have difficulties with, it could be hearing or seeing, with your smartphone. What we've done is we've gone virtual with our online training, and we teach you how to become a little bit more connected with your smartphone so you can feel a little bit more comfortable in using your smartphone. The smartphone classes are separated into two separate trainings. We have one for Android and one for iPhone. So to participate in this training, we do need for you to have access to a computer, internet service, and a valid email address. If you're interested in this, you can call us at 1-800-866-271-1540, or simply email us at smartphonetraining@dbtp.org. What are some of the things that we cover in this training? Well, we teach you some basic functions, right? How to use your smartphone, how to send a text message. You probably hear your phone beeping and you're saying, okay, why am I getting these things, right? How to make the text larger, how to connect to Bluetooth devices. Remember, we do provide some Bluetooth devices for phones. So we teach you how to connect those things and how to make your phone also easier to hear as well. There's also some little new tricks that they also show you to, did you know that you could actually make your flashlight go off when you're getting an incoming call. We teach you those kind of things and other things as well. So if you wanted to participate with this in this class, please send us an email or give us a call to make a reservation for this amazing program as well. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to go into the chat here and see if I can answer some of your questions.
Yes, I also want to say you can raise your hand and we'll call on you.
It says, Matthew says, I was eligible over a decade ago. How can I find out if I'm on the list? The older phones were indestructible, so I haven't had a need to contact, but I am interested in a mobile amplifier. Okay, so very simple. Let me see if I can go back here. Oops, nope, I don't want to exit. Oh, I did exit. Yeah, it's just a matter of just calling our 1-800 number, and they will verify that you are still an active member. I'm sure you are, because once you're in it, you don't necessarily go out of the program. So once you're in it, you're forever in it. And so, yeah, just give us a call, and we will definitely get you verified that you're still part of the program, but also see how we could get you a mobile amplifier as well. And that is our 1-800 number there. Thank you, Katie. It's 1-800-806-1191. We have so many numbers that sometimes I forget my own number as well. Okay, so the next question that I see here is, can you put the phone number and email contacts for the smartphone training? Okay, in the chat. Okay, I will do that. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate that. Robin, hopefully that answered your question. Okay, do I have any other questions about the program or anything of that regards?
Okay, I see a question here from Robin Miller. Do you know if other states have similar programs to CTAP? I can tell you that if you go to a website, it's called tedpa.org, TEDPA. You should be able to see every state in the United States if they have a program or not. And Alan, if you could verify that website, and if you verify it, would you put it in the chat? It's TEDPA, TEDPA.org.
Tony, I believe that the HLAA website, hearingloss.org, also has a list of the states that have telecommunications programs.
Yes, thank you, Tony. That is correct. The TEDPA.org website will tell you. You got to make sure you go to the resources section of, if you wanted to go there, and it will tell you which states are part of this or similar program like this.
Carl, I believed you had a question. Unmute.
Yes. You have not mentioned anything about caption call or CapTel. What do you believe about those?
So caption call and all of those are different organizations, and usually those are federal programs. We do have one caption phone available for us. It is a CapTel phone, so if you wanted to participate with that, yes, we do have that phone available also with our program.
Thank you.
Okay, looks like Rena has a question. If you want to.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. You know, I like this caption call phone, but I find this handset a little heavy. When I just have a long talk, my hand gets tired. Is there any other phones that can just have lighter handset? Like it's just a little heavy sometimes for me.
Depending on the model that you have, you should be able to maybe have put a headset to it.
Oh, headset. Like
Yes.
just hold it to the shoulder, right?
Exactly. So
Yeah, I got.
that's what I would recommend.
Yeah, but you have models, another models with lighter handset, right? Like,
Well, we only carry one model, but there's other companies that have different caption phones. The one that we have is a Captel phone, but Captel makes various models.
okay, so it's through another company, it's not one through your company.
Right. We just happen to have only one model, yes.
Okay.
Which is the caption phone.
Thank you.
Very welcome.
I'd like to comment on that one phone that you have. It's only going to work on an analog phone line, which means this is a single phone line, and it's the old AT&T or the GE. It's the old copper line phone system. It's not a digital system. So a digital system is like what you get with Spectrum, Comcast, Cox, all of those, or another digital is Vonage, Uma. Those are all digital. This phone that California Phones has would not work on digital phone lines, only on the old-fashioned, been around forever AT&T copper lines. Am I right, Robert?
Yes, Tony, you are 1,000% correct.
I have Vonage, yeah. I have Vonage. Sometimes it gets just staticky and echo, something like this. That's like Tanya said, maybe it's digital. That's why just the sound a little like different sometimes. Like people can hear me and I can hear people, something like this. So it has to do with the company, right? The provider like Vonage or digital. Am I right? Yeah, like Tanya said.
Correct, Rena. That could probably a little bit of the problem that you're experiencing. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because it's just a matter how a digital line sends voice over the internet versus a copper line that is constant. So those it's just a technology thing.
Oh, got it. Now it's clear. As I was wondering, maybe something wrong with me, but it's something wrong with the provider, like not wrong, but just like you said, digital. Yeah. Thank you for clarifying it. Thank you, Tony.
Do I have any other questions?
David? Unmute. You're muted.
Do you have a landline phone which connects directly to the hearing aids?
We have, so, some of our devices, you can connect via is it via, you want it to be T-coil or?
I want it to be by Bluetooth.
By Bluetooth.
My cell phone connects directly to my hearing aids, so I can hear it absolutely perfect. On the landline, I can barely hear anything.
Got it. We do have a Bluetooth phone, but I'm thinking if that will connect to a hearing aid, because normally we have a phone that it's similar to this here, but it connects to a smartphone. But the smartphone is the one that brings the communication. If you wanted to connect to Bluetooth, I don't think you'll be able to do that. But it's a very, very good question. I don't have access to a Bluetooth hearing aid for me to tell you that. So that's why I'm thinking it's probably not, because if it connects to the hearing aid has to create the conversation, not necessarily be the receiving end of the conversation. So I don't think we have something that would connect to your Bluetooth hearing aid, but we do have some devices that are T-coil compatible.
Robert, I'm
Yes.
wondering, you may have been talking about the Panasonic
Yes.
that will forward phone calls from your landline to a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if that you plug that into your landline, you can forward the calls to your cell phone, and then maybe you could connect that way to your hearing aid. It might be worth a try. Which Panasonic is that?
That is, it is the BT. I think it's the BT TGM 400, I believe, or something like that. I have it out in the lobby.
It could, David, that might work. I know that I don't need to have my cell phone connect to my hearing aids. I can hear okay on speaker, and I'm okay with that. But I did have that Panasonic phone that I could forward to my cell phone, and I never went further than that. So I'm betting it might be worth a try that once you get it onto your cell phone, you can connect it to your hearing aids. I don't know. You should give it a try and then let us know. You can be our guinea pig.
What is your website address?
CaliforniaPhones.org. And if you go into
Did you get that? California Phones.org. Captioning.
So it actually, it looks like this, but it's black. So black just means that it's actually that Bluetooth phone. Yeah, I mean, I've never tried it in that sense, but Katie, I think maybe you have something. It's just that usually with Bluetooth, you have to have you have to think of a send and receive type of thing. So as far as you have to have something that creates the conversation for you to receive into that Bluetooth device. So, but yeah, I mean, there's worth trying by all means.
Robin, you have your hand up? Unmute. There you go.
Hi. Sorry, I'm on my phone, so I didn't know which one I had to unmute. I am one, so we have a relative who's in a nursing home, lives in a nursing home, can't get out, can't get in. We can see her through a window sometimes, but mostly it's by, an iPad. And I was wondering, it occurred to me that phone with the pictures would be really nice because she could, just click a button and call the person, she's intending. But I recall there was some issue with getting a phone when the person who needs the phone had to go to the office. This was several years ago, so I don't know if this is still an issue. Is there a way for her child to go and for her to get a phone, arrange to get a phone?
Yes, yes. As long as you have a doctor that could sign off on the certification form, by all means. We have, I would probably say as of lately, because of the circumstances that we've in, we probably see more family members in our service centers than actual users, because they're trying to facilitate, they're trying to look for a solution to communicate. So yes, as long as you have that form, make sure that it's signed and then signed by the doctor and get it to us, whether if you wanted to come to one of our centers, you wanted to fax it or email it, by all means. And once it's completed, you could do it in several ways. You could come to our center, or once you send it in to us, we'll receive it. Then you get like a welcome packet telling you, okay, so what it is that you're looking for. I forgot to mention this. One of the great benefits of our program is that we actually, if you wanted to have someone come to your home, we could actually help you with that. Have someone come to your home and set it up. Unfortunately, because we're in this pandemic, that program has been suspended. So the people that actually do that are still with us. All their, if they could do what we call drop-offs, but they cannot go into your home and set it up. For example, normally if they're in a nursing home, we coordinate with, the staff, and we just drop off the phone. And usually the staff will help out in setting up. And what that person will do is walk them through the setup options on them. So it's not the same where we would normally go and set up, and if you wanted for us to program some phone numbers or adjust the ring volume and adjust the hearing volume, all those things that we normally do, we can't do that in person anymore. So we can try to set up as much as we can, and then send you the device, or you can just have the device shipped out to you, and then if you have someone that could assist you with it, set it up yourself as well.
Great, thanks.
Robin, I sent you a message privately in the chat. Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any questions?
I was wondering, I may have zoned out a little bit. Did Matthew put a question in there about being a customer 10 years ago? Did his question get answered?
Yes, I did address it. It's just a matter for him to call us, and if he wants to get that device sent out, if he wanted to get that device sent out, by all means, just give us a call, and we'll verify that you have a phone that will be compatible with it, and if it is, then we'll send you out that device. Just give us a call.
It's my understanding that once you're in the system, you're in the system forever.
Correct.
Because obviously our hearing loss is not going to go away.
Matthew, did you want to ask anything else?
Yes. First of all, this is my first time using this. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, cool. I had another question about a smartphone app. And sometimes when I'm in the dark or with somebody else or in a movie, I can't hear anything they're saying because obviously I can't see their lips. And so what I've done is I've actually downloaded a couple of paid apps that allow me to point the speaker on my Apple phone, on my iPhone, and capture real-time translation or real-time captioning. And the problem is that none of these programs work very well. They work, about 60% of the time. And so there are many of them out there, and I'm wondering if I could get, sort of a crowdsourcing list of similar apps that people think work for them. The only app that I have that works for me, again, at a 60% success rate, is simply called My Ear, MYEAR, and that is available on it's paid. I actually don't suggest you buy it. It's not worth it. But it's the only thing I have, and that's on the iPhone. I don't know if it's on the Android device. So I'm just trying to get some more help here in terms of, some suggestions on a similar app that actually works.
On your iPhone, Matthew, you have an iPhone, correct?
Yes, this is all on the iPhone.
Have you tried Otter AI?
Otter AI. There we go. Thank God for the captions here.
Try Otter AI.
Okay, so no, I no idea.
Try download Otter. You get, I think it's 600 minutes a month free for your captioning, and then it's paid beyond that. So you could try that. What I don't like Otter because the font is too small for me. And I know for a lot of our older people, you want a bigger font. So the best captioning app, in fact, I'm using it on my phone right now, in addition to our PowerPoint, the best automatic speech recognition, which is ASR, the best ASR captioning app right now, in my humble opinion, is Live Transcribe, but it's only available on Android. What I did is I went to Amazon and I bought a very inexpensive Android phone. I think I paid $50 for it, which is cheap when it comes to smartphones. and I only use it with Live Transcribe when I'm on Zoom. So I did not connect it to my cell service. I use it on Wi-Fi, and it's perfect for that. But you can't take it to the store with you unless you could connect with their Wi-Fi or it has, unless you want to use it connected to your cell phone service, you have to use Wi-Fi. But it's not an iPhone, it's an Android.
Thank you. I'm looking at the iPhone now. There's only two options when I put in Otter.ai. One of them is Otter voice meeting notes, and the other one is transcribe speech to text. I assume the transcribe speech to text is the one that I should be downloading on the iPhone.
Yeah. You're talking about Otter?
It's the only two programs pop up when I put in Otter, and it's hard to say because let me click on it here. It's Denny VIP.
It should work. I have Otter on my iPhone.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jean, you have your hand up?
Yeah. Looking at the form to apply, it says that it wants to know your phone supplier and the name. I am in a retirement community. I don't have, I don't pay a phone bill. Well, what do I do about that application form?
Then just put UNK or NA. UNK for unknown or NA for not available.
Okay, so it doesn't matter if I don't have that part of the application filled out.
As long as you have a phone number.
Okay, which is put in a different place. Yes, okay.
Perfect.
I do have 2 poll questions. I'm going to give this a try. I've never done it on my own before. So let me see. Polling. Can you see this? Launch poll. Hang on.
You want me to launch the polls? There you go.
There we go. So do you currently use CTAP equipment? What happened?
It's there.
It's there? Okay, it's weird for me.
Yeah, we're just going to wait about 30 seconds. So we'd ask everybody to please choose your answer. There's 2 questions. And then we will reveal the results of the poll so everybody will see it. So we only have 7 people out of the 23 that are here right now. So everybody
There we
vote.
go. 12. Everybody put your answers in there. Oh, not very many have done the smartphone training. Back when the smartphone training was in person, I attended a couple of them and they're so good. I think I know what I'm doing on my iPhone and I learned some things.
Okay. We've got about half of the people have polled.
So I'll end poll.
Okay, so let's end polling and then show polling.
Share results.
Yeah. So there you go. So 50% of the people said yes. 44 said no, and some people are not sure. And 100% of the people said they had not participated in smartphone training. So I'm going to stop the sharing. This is Tony speaking. Let's see. So I have hosted, this is when we were in person, I have hosted several smartphone meetings, and people think that they're fabulous. This is really great for people that are just don't have confidence in the basic usage of a smartphone. And there's no reason in the world why a Zoom meeting with smartphone training can offer the same thing. So this is what Robert is offering, smartphone training via Zoom. And I highly recommend it because everybody that's been surveyed after they've taken the smartphone training has given it a thumbs up.
Any other questions? The caption should be on, Linda. You should be seeing the PowerPoint. Is everybody seeing the PowerPoint? Can I see a
Yes.
yes, a nod of a head?
Yes. Yes. I just wanted to kind of end things and just tell you that thank you, Tony, for that testimonial. That yes, a lot of people walk away from this training really enlightened that there are many more things that your smartphone does. It's called smart for whatever reason. And so I'm being funny. But highly, highly, highly recommended. Even if you feel like you know your phone, I'm sure you can learn a few things here and there from our classes. So I highly encourage you to please participate in these free trainings.
You're muted, Tony. Tony, you're muted. There you go.
Yeah, Winnie, you have a question? You want to unmute yourself? Oops, I'm sorry.
Yes, thanks, Tony. You might have answered it, but I was zoning out a couple of times when you were talking about that smartphone training, because it seems like I bought an iPhone 11, and there's a lot about it I really don't understand at all. So do they go through that part too, as well as the stuff for the hearing?
Hi, Winnie. This is Robert. We go through some of the functions of the phone. We don't get too much into the, like, for example, you have iOS 14 on your phone. We don't get too much into that. We just go, we go in depth, but not too in depth per device per se. For example, like let's say with Android, in Android you have so many different Android devices. If we did that, we would probably have 8-hour classes. But these classes are separated. They're 1 hour each, and they're 2 classes. So, but just you'll feel confident of how the menu structure is, how to get through your phone, and search for things also on there. So, but if you're looking for something that's phone specific, no. But we do our training is based on the operating system and some of the features that the operating system does have, and of course some of the where what button does what on your device. In your case, you don't have a home button, so we kind of teach you how to maneuver through that. The swiping on each side and things of that nature.
Well, thank you. That sounds good. I think I'm going to sign up for it. Thank you.
Please do.
Thank you.
Carl, I see you waving your hand.
Yes, can you repeat the number to call for the training?
Sure. That number is 1-866-271-1540.
Thank you.
I'd like to say right now too is that a lot of this information is being put into the chat box, and you can save the chat by opening the chat box, and you'll see 3 little dots on the right side. Click those 3 little dots and you get a little pop-up menu, and you can save chat. Save chat. And then when we close out, it should save on your computer. And Alan has just put that information in the chat on how to save chat. And Robert, if you will put in that smartphone training phone number, that would be really helpful.
Sure, no problem.
Put it in the chat box.
Wait, sorry, I blew it. Let me go back.
We don't have captions now.
Hang on. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Wait. Here we go. Share screen. Share PowerPoint. Share.
Okay. So just this is an interesting side point. That we do not have a live captioner for this event. We are using something called ASR, which is automatic speech recognition. There's a variety of ways to implement that, and today we're using this on PowerPoint. This is subtitles are available on PowerPoint, but only in the Microsoft 365 version. But it's absolutely perfect for today. So I'm just curious, if you leave me a message in chat, on a scale of 1 to 10, what did you think of the PowerPoint captions today? Just on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being bad, 10 being great, just let me know. Wow, thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Robin. Anybody else? Send a message in chat.
I could have done a poll question on that.
Yes, we could have, and I think maybe whenever
it's a good idea.
We use this, I think we should, ask people, because I think the captioning has been fantastic. So Robin says there's no transcript, and you know what? You're absolutely right. However, when we load this up on YouTube, there will be the recording will be captioned. So a little bit different than a transcript, but definitely available. And I think that's something we can write to Microsoft with and say, hey, can we get a transcript, from these subtitles?
I do want to let you all know that there is hope on the future that Zoom is going to be having built-in integrated captions. Zoom had a 2-day conference called Zoomtopia, and I participated in it, and they used their new captioning, and it was wonderful. The captions were really great. They're doing a phased rollout. There's no general availability date yet, but I'm working on trying to get HLAA California and our chapters into that phased rollout soon, so they know that we're important, because we're desperate for captions to be built in to Zoom. We are desperate for them.
It's expensive.
Spend so much time and energy using other captions to try to caption our communication, and it's been very frustrating. And Zoom really needs to get their act together and get us captions. Google responded. We did a what do you call it? A change.org petition earlier in the pandemic, and we asked Zoom and Google Meet and Microsoft Teams to bring their captions in front of the paywall so everybody could use captions, and Google Meet did that. So if you use Google Meet to talk to family or friends, the captions are built in, and you can do that. It's not, I don't like it quite as much as I like Zoom, but if you use Google Meet, the problem with Google Meet is everybody that you're talking to, if you're using the free account, if you're using the free account, everybody has to have a Gmail account. So you need to be careful of that. If you have a paid account, you don't need to.
Katie?
Have any more questions?
Katie?
Yes.
So one reason the captions were so great today, I think it has to go to Robert. The way he presented the speech and clarity makes the captions a lot more accurate. So I think a lot of the credit has to go to him.
Absolutely.
I totally agree.
I did not pay Alan anything for him to say that.
I'd like to emphasize that this is true for any captioning device you're using, whether it's a phone, online, if it's automatic speech recognition, the speaker speaking slowly and clearly will make the difference between good and bad. I've had a lot of people complain about their captioning telephone, that there was a lot of mistakes and they can't keep up. A lot of that has to do with the caller. The caller needs to speak just a little bit slower and try to speak distinctly, and that'll make a world of difference in the captions.
It also helps if you have an external microphone, fancy or not fancy, and that picks up better than your laptop, your built-in microphone in your laptop or your desktop. So if you're having a lot of trouble with that and you're doing a lot of video conferencing with family or friends or webinars or meetings, you might want to pick up an external microphone. If we don't have any other questions or comments, I think
Katie?
Yes.
Can we do this? Can we just officially thank Robert and end this program, but stay online if anybody else wants to? We'll just have free form chat if they have any burning questions that don't have anything to do with captions.
Robert, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
I am very honored. I love that I'm got the opportunity to speak to you guys about our program. And as I said, I encourage every single one of you to please consider not only for yourselves, but for your loved ones as well. So thank you. Have a great rest of your weekend. Take care. Bye.
Thanks, Robert.
Thanks, Robert.
So anybody who wants to stay, has more questions about anything, we are available to you right now. Rena?
Where did you get this external microphone for laptop?
I ordered mine on Amazon.
Oh, on Amazon. So it's for just called external microphone for laptop, or how it's used?
It was a blue, BLUE.
Oh, okay.
That's the name of it. And it's just search for blue external microphone and you'll find it. It was about $50. You can buy really expensive ones, but you want to have one that's a fairly good quality also.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Rena, let me just say that especially for you, because you do, don't be offended. You have a slight accent.
Yeah.
If you were using an external microphone, the captions would pick you up more clearly.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. I didn't offend you, did I?
Yeah, no,
okay.
Not good at all. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for your help.
Any other questions about anything that we're doing right now? Captioning, mobile phones, Zoom. Robin.
I'm just wondering, nobody's mentioned InnoCaption, and I mean, I've used it a little bit, but so I don't have a lot to say about it, except I think it's a free federal program that provides captioning. It gives you a phone number, which they say you can forward. I haven't tried it, so I don't know. Does anyone have anything to say about that, or why it's not widely talked about?
I'm not sure. Your captions didn't come through very well. Are you asking about the federal program?
Let me try again. There's a federal program called InnoCaption, INNOCAPTION. I think it's federal. It's federally funded, I guess. Yeah.
Tony?
And I'm wondering, people don't talk about it much. I'm wondering why, or what people think of it.
Tony? You're muted.
I'm sorry. Robin, is your question, why are we not talking about it?
Yeah. I mean, is it a good program? Is it a problem program? I don't know what to say, what to ask, except I just noticed it seems left out in most conversations.
Okay. So you were asking about InnoCaption, and that's a federal program. And we haven't addressed InnoCaption or Caption Call or CapTel or Clear Captions or any of those, because they're all federal programs. And Robert is representing a state program. So it's really not appropriate to talk about competing, on his time.
But
yes. Do you have specific questions you want to ask about those InnoCaption or Caption Call or anything like that?
Well, I'm just wondering, I mean, a lot of people recommend Otter, and I see that Otter's pretty good. I've tried it. I don't know. I mean, I've tried InnoCaption a little bit. Can't say I have a lot of experience with it, but it seems pretty good too. But I'm just wondering if there's people compared them, what people think about it. I know the one thing about InnoCaption is only for phone calls, I think, but maybe they changed that too. I'm not sure.
Yes, InnoCaption is only for smartphones, and it's available both on iPhone and Android. And you just go to the App Store. Well, I recommend first you go to innocaption.com online, sign up, then download the app on the phone in the App Store or the Play Store. Play Store if you're Android, App Store if you're iPhone, and get it set up based on the online account you set up on the website, innocaption.com.
actually, Robin and everybody, if you're interested in knowing more about InnoCaptions, the HLAA Los Angeles chapter is having a virtual meeting with the InnoCaption people on October 24th. That's not today, is it? No. Next Saturday at 10 a.m. So you can, there's is that on our webpage, Tony? Do you know?
I think it is. But for everybody who is on this call or registered, I will, when I send out the link for the recorded version, I will also include options for InnoCaption, Caption Call, CapTel, etc. I'll just give you links for that. And I'll definitely give you the link for the October 24th presentation on InnoCaption. It's with the LA chapter, HLAA Los Angeles. You can Google that and get the information as well.
Robin, if you're on Facebook, are you on Facebook?
Well, I have an account.
Okay.
I can't say
I was just going to tell you that on their Facebook page, they have the link. But if you're not on Facebook,
okay.
We'll send you the link.
Thank you.
Anything else from anybody? And I want to encourage you to keep coming back to our virtual meetings. We're shooting for monthly California meetings where the things that are pertain only to California rather than national meetings. Our committee that's talking about this is still kind of working out the details and the timing and what we want to do. There are going to be, we are co-hosting along with the national HLAA, along with HLAA, we are helping them do nationwide meetings on the second Saturday, and we're shooting for California meetings on the third Saturdays. So keep looking for our emails. Be sure that our HLAA California emails don't go into your trash, your spam, your junk folders, so you know what's going on. Tell your family and friends, forward it to them. We have interesting things coming up.
Thanks, Katie.
Okay, I think Matthew has another question.
Yeah, just I was going by the captions when you mentioned Otter AI. Is it spelled like just the animal, OTTER?
OTTER.
Yes.
I got to tell you, I'm looking at my phone right now. I just downloaded and signed up for InnoCaption without any issues, but I cannot find anything that says Otter AI.
Let me look.
Can somebody maybe try to look
I'm
at
doing it right now.
and see?
So I'm turning this over to you.
Here's what happens. Sometimes the government will contract out, and sometimes it just won't want to pay for the ongoing security and online maintenance, so it'll sell it off to a private contractor in order to maximize efficiency. So just because you downloaded something, 5 years ago that has one name, it's possible that it might have gone private, 5 years later. And therefore, it has a different name on the Apple Store.
Otter is not federal; it's private, and I just downloaded it last week. So.
Okay, can somebody on? We've got about 15 people here or 14 people here. Can somebody try to look at the iPhone and maybe just try to email me later on?
Can you see this, Robert Matthew? This is in the App Store, and Otter AI is there. I'm trying to.
I think it's otter.ai if you're looking.
Yes,
that's what it looks like.
That's what I'm doing, but it's only two programs come up. I can't see anything on the screen other than the California Phones screenshot. In any case, if somebody can send me an email, I send a private message to one of you. It's just not coming up on my iPhone. One thing you might want to do to double check is to delete the app and then try to reinstall to see if it's under a different name.
I'm going to put in the chat box the website and for Otter AI.
Oh, so are you looking at the one for your laptop, not for the iPhone? That makes sense. Thank you. Okay, now that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, I want to say that I put in the website address for HLAA California. And right on the front page is a listing of all the upcoming meetings and also an opportunity for you to sign up to be on our email list so that you'll get notices for the upcoming meetings right in your inbox.
I think the one I downloaded is called Otter Voice Meeting Notes on the iPhone.
So, Katie,
yes,
can you repeat again the name of this external microphone? I just missed it. You said or put it in the chat box, something like just. I missed the name of it.
I will actually go to Amazon. Do you order from Amazon?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, let me go to Amazon and find the exact thing that you need.
Oh, okay. That will be helpful. Thank you.
The one I'm using is the blue.
Yeah, I already went ahead. Sorry to interrupt. It's not on there. I can't find that one either. By the way, I looked it up. There's actually in the chat box or the search box. It does say blue accessory, etc., but it doesn't actually come up. So if you can find a link, that would be very helpful.
Blue what then? Blue accessories or what? Blue. Then how just the blue?
Good. Blue. It's called the Blue Snowball.
Blue Shield box?
Snowball.
Oh, Blue Snowball. Okay, thank you. Oh, so there's a Blue Snowball. Okay, thanks.
And there are others listed on there.
On Amazon? Oh, okay.
Amazon.
So, which exactly do you use? Which one? Just.
I guess I didn't know I paid that much for it. It's like $77. I didn't know I spent that much.
Yeah, you don't have to get that one.
I don't see the other one though.
Okay, I'm going to put in the chat a link that'll go directly to Snowball. You're going to see on this link, you're going to see the
Oh,
walk.
I see it already. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies. You've been a great help.
Oh, there it is. You're right.
You can order it in black or white. So I have the black one.
Oh, you have the black one. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Tony.
I'll try it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's $50. Good.
I enjoy having this little bit of extra chat after the presenter.
Yes. It's a good idea. It's a very good idea.
Yeah.
You should just incorporate that into every one of these.
Yeah.
Are any of you guys from the Central Coast area?
Raise your hand.
No, you're not. Not from Central Coast. I know the Central Coast chapter is struggling right now, so we're trying to help them out. But I believe we had a lot of people from the Central Coast area that came to the big presentation. And then,
Okay,
if nothing else, I guess we're done.
I think we're done.
Thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll see you again next month.
Have a great
Saturday. All right?
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye.